Okay, that's a lie.
Do not ask for the truth if you can't handle it.
Look, if this tryst happened, it was obviously none too memorable because Charlie has no recollection of it whatsoever.
Well, that's what he tells you. Would you really like to hear how it happened?
Oh, I bet you're gonna tell me.
Yes. Charlie and I were in the emergency room. It was right after Adriana's accident. Charlie was very upset because of your awful rejection of him. I was a bit upset myself because Adriana and I had an awful scene. Anyway, Charlie rushed out. Oh, I got worried that he was going to hurt himself, so I followed him. And sadly, when I found him, he was drinking.
Where was he?
In the park. Yes, with a bottle that he had bought for himself. Poor guy. He was so devastated. He said the only way that he could numb the pain from the terrible things that you had said to him was to drink. And then it occurred to me, what if the shoe were on the other foot? What if this was Viki, who found Mel drinking? Wouldn't she try to help him? And so I decided to take Charlie home with me. He was really miserable, and I confess, I needed to soothe my own pain, and so I joined him in a few drinks.
Oh, for heaven's sakes, you beg him not to drink, then you take him home and you join him? That's helpful.
My goal at that point was to comfort him. Because as Charlie was pouring out the vodka, he was also pouring out his heart to me. And he said it was very comforting to have a woman listen to him who wasn't so judgmental. And then, in an effort to get him to lighten up, well, I'm afraid we had a few giggles at your expense.
Did you?
Yes, we did. I'd always liked Charlie. But that night he seemed especially charming and vulnerable, and one thing led to another.
You know what? I just don't believe it. I think even if Charlie had been 4 sheets to the wind, he would not have gone to bed with you.
I believe that you said the same thing about Joey and Clint. And as I recall, they both ended up in my bed, too. Charlie lies to you for months about just about everything, and yet you are convinced that you know he would never have slept with me. He needed a confidant, someone simpatico, someone who knew who he really was and what lies he was telling. And that person was me.
And the last person that I remember talking to that night was Dorian.
What do you think happened?
I don't know. I just came from Dorian's place where I put it to her, and she just kept saying that I don't know what I'm talking about.
She would do that.
Right, but while I was questioning her, I had this very strange image or some memory.
Of what?
Of being in Dorian's bed.
I'm sorry, Viki. I know that this is very hard on your already battered ego. But it did happen, and you know it. And then when I woke up, Charlie was gone. So was my entire supply of vodka. I guess Charlie felt so guilty about drinking. That's why he nearly drank himself to death.
How could you have done that?
You rejected Charlie. You threw him out of your life. You're the one who should have been there for him. That is, If you truly loved him.
I do love him. I love him with all my heart.
Don't you dare try to blame me for Charlie's failings.
You know something? You are far worse than I ever thought you were. Oh. You claim to understand alcoholics, and yet you drank with him. You drank with Charlie. You enabled him. If he did sleep with you, it was only because he was too stupefied to know what he was doing.
It's an interesting pattern, isn't it? That the men who tire of your grandiose posturing always turn to me.
Now, your life is so miserable and devoid of meaning. The only satisfaction you get out of anything is by hurting people.
I did not start this conversation, and I did not set out to hurt you. I was cornered into it. It just came out.
It just came out? So you made it up?
No, of course not.
Dorian, I beg of you. If you have one shred of humanity in you, please tell me the truth. Did you really sleep with Charlie?
What?
Oh my God.
Viki!
Wait a minute, the brakes are not holding.
Do something, can't you?
Oh my God.
Viki? Viki? No, Paul.